It was a bright, sunny morning in the kingdom of Enchancia. The castle sparkled like diamonds under the golden light, and the air was filled with the cheerful sounds of songbirds and the smell of fresh flowers drifting from the royal gardens. Princess Sofia was walking along the marble path, her lavender gown glistening as she hummed a happy tune. Clover hopped beside her, nibbling on a clover leaf. "Beautiful day for a stroll, huh, Sofia?" Clover said, twitching his nose. "It sure is," Sofia replied with a smile. "Everything feels extra magical today." But just as she spoke, a soft humming sound filled the air. It wasn't the usual hum of bees or the wind through the trees. It was something different. The sky above the garden began to shimmer with silver light. Then, in a swirl of glowing sparkles, a carriage appeared, not made of wood or gold, but of pure, shining starlight. Clover's ears perked up. Sofia? Please tell me you see that too." Sofia's eyes widened in amazement. "I see it, Clover. It's beautiful." The carriage floated down gently, landing right in the center of the rose garden. Its doors opened with a soft whoosh, and out stepped a girl about Sofia's age. Her dress shimmered like moonlight, and her hair sparkled with silver streaks. She looked around, eyes wide, as if she'd never seen a garden before. Sofia approached carefully. "Hello there. I'm Princess Sofia of Enchancia. Who are you?" The girl smiled nervously. I'm Lyra. I think I'm a princess. Or at least, I'm supposed to be." Sofia tilted her head. "Supposed to be? What do you mean?" Lyra looked down at her hands, which trembled slightly. "I'm not from this time. I came from the future." Clover nearly jumped out of his fur. "The future? Like tomorrow? Or like 100 years from now?" Lyra laughed softly. "A few hundred years, I think. Where I come from, people live in floating castles and gardens that grow in the clouds. I was training to become a princess, but something went wrong. A spell, a flash of light, and suddenly I ended up here." Sofia listened closely. "That sounds amazing and scary. Do you know how to get back?" Lyra shook her head. "No. My royal charm, the magic pendant that connects me to my destiny, vanished when I arrived. Without it, I can't return, and I might lose my chance to become a princess." Sofia placed a gentle hand on Lyra's shoulder. "Don't worry. I'll help you find it. That's what princesses do. We help others." Just then, the amulet of Avalor around Sofia's neck began to glow with a warm pink light. It shimmered brighter and brighter, until soft sparkles drifted into the air, forming a faint trail of glowing petals leading toward the distant woods. Clover's eyes widened. "Whoa! Sofia, your amulet's doing its sparkly thing again." Sofia nodded. "It's showing us the way." Lyra's eyes filled with hope. "Then that's where my charm must be." Before setting off, Sofia led Lyra through the castle to meet Queen Miranda and King Roland. They were both surprised but kind. The king rubbed his chin thoughtfully. "A visitor from the future, you say? Well, that's a first for Enchancia." Queen Miranda smiled warmly. "You're welcome to stay here as long as you need, Princess Lyra. Sofia will take good care of you." Lyra curtsied gratefully. "Thank you, your majesties." Later that afternoon, as the sun began to dip low, Sofia and Lyra stood at the edge of the enchanted forest. The glowing petal trail shimmered like a golden river, winding between the trees. "Are you sure you're ready?" Sofia asked. Lyra nodded, clutching a small crystal wand she carried. "If my charm is out there, I have to find it. My whole future depends on it." Sofia smiled. "Then let's do this together." As they stepped into the forest, the air grew cooler and filled with the sounds of rustling leaves and distant magic. The amulet glowed again, lighting their way. Somewhere deep in those woods, their adventure and Lyra's destiny awaited. Clover hopped along behind them, muttering, "I just hope there aren't any time-traveling chipmunks in there." Sofia laughed softly, her heart full of courage and excitement. Whatever mystery lay ahead, she knew one thing for certain. Sometimes friendship can reach across time itself. The next morning, the castle of Enchancia buzzed with excitement. Word had spread that a mysterious princess from the future had arrived. Servants whispered curiously, and Bailiwick had to remind them 3 times to keep their voices down while polishing the silverware. Sofia and Lyra sat together in the library, surrounded by glowing candles and stacks of books taller than Clover. Lyra was gently running her fingers along a dusty old scroll. "It's so strange," she said softly. "In my time, books are made of light. You just wave your hand, and the stories appear in the air." Sofia smiled. "That sounds amazing, but I think there's something special about holding a real book. You can feel the magic in every page." Clover hopped onto a chair beside them. "Speaking of magic, maybe we should get some real help, preferably from someone who knows spells and doesn't turn us into toads by accident." Sofia chuckled. "You're right. Come on, Lyra. There's someone we should visit." A short walk later, the two princesses arrived at a tall, spiral tower near the edge of the castle courtyard. Cedric the sorcerer's workshop. The tower was filled with glittering potions, smoky cauldrons, and shelves of ancient spellbooks that hummed softly with enchantment. Cedric, who was busy stirring a bubbling potion, turned when he heard the knock. "Ah, Princess Sofia. And who might your sparkly little friend be?" "I'm Lyra," she said politely. "I come from the future." Cedric blinked, his spoon dropping into the cauldron with a plop. "The future, you say? Fascinating. And possibly highly profitable. I mean, interesting." Sofia giggled. "She's lost her royal charm, a magical pendant that connects her to her destiny as a princess. Without it, she can't return home." Cedric rubbed his chin, eyes twinkling with curiosity. "A charm that controls destiny and time itself. Oh, this is extraordinary. Do you have any magical residue left from when you arrived?" Lyra hesitated. "I'm not sure, but the air around my carriage sparkled when I landed." Cedric nodded. "That's temporal stardust. Quite rare. It means your charm didn't vanish. It's still somewhere nearby, caught between moments in time." "Between moments?" Sofia repeated. "Yes," Cedric explained. "Imagine a bubble floating in time. Your charm is trapped inside it. To reach it, you'll need a powerful guiding magic, like your amulet of Avalor." Sofia looked down at her glowing amulet. It pulsed softly, as if agreeing. "Then we have a clue." Just then, the door burst open and Amber and James rushed in. "Sofia," Amber exclaimed, her eyes sparkling, "we heard about your visitor from the future." James grinned. "Do you guys have flying carriages? Or, like, talking robots at your homework?" Lyra laughed. "We do have floating castles and enchanted mirrors that tell stories, but no talking robots." Amber twirled a strand of hair. "You must tell me all about future fashion. Is pink still royal?" Lyra giggled. "Pink never goes out of style." Cedric cleared his throat loudly. "Ahem. As I was saying, we must trace the temporal trail left by the charm. That's where your amulet comes in. Princess Sofia. It can reveal the direction of the lost magic." Sofia nodded eagerly. "Let's try it." She held the amulet of Avalor in her hands and closed her eyes. "Please help us find Lyra's royal charm." A warm light spread through the tower, and tiny glowing petals floated out the window, forming a sparkling trail that curved toward the enchanted forest once again. "The forest," Sofia whispered. Amber frowned. "But it's getting dark soon. You can't go in there now." Sofia smiled softly. "I'll be careful. The amulet is guiding us for a reason." Lyra nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "I have to follow the trail. My future depends on it." Cedric waved his wand, and two lanterns floated into their hands. "Very well. Follow the light, princesses, and beware of magical mischief. The forest holds secrets that even I don't understand." As they left the tower, the moon was rising, casting silver light over the castle grounds. The glowing trail led them past the gardens and down a narrow path lined with whispering trees. The petals shimmered brighter with each step, as if leading them towards something important or someone. Clover hopped alongside them nervously. "I don't like it, Sofia. Forests at night never mean good news." Sofia smiled gently. "Maybe this time will be different, Clover. Maybe the forest is trying to help us." The path opened into a wide clearing where fireflies floated like tiny lanterns. The glow from Sofia's amulet merged with the fireflies' light, forming a shining symbol in the air, a small circle surrounded by stars. Lyra gasped, "That's the royal seal of time. My charm must be close." Sofia took her hand. "Then let's find it together." But as soon as they stepped closer, a swirl of purple mist appeared, and a cold, cackling voice echoed through the clearing. Well, two princesses chasing shiny things in my forest," the voice hissed. Sofia's heart sank. "Oh no, Miss Nettle." The mist parted, and there she stood, Miss Nettle, holding a crooked wand and a wicked grin. "Looking for something shiny, are we?" she sneered. "Because I believe I found it first." In her palm, a faint sparkle glowed, the missing royal charm. The glow of Miss Nettle's wand lit the clearing with sharp flashes of purple. She stood tall, her eyes glinting with mischief, her cloak swirling like storm clouds. In her hand, the royal charm shimmered faintly, the same charm Lyra had been searching for. Sofia's heart pounded as she stepped protectively in front of Lyra. "Miss Nettle, that doesn't belong to you." "Oh, doesn't it?" Miss Nettle replied with a smirk. "I found it fair and square. Besides, this little trinket holds time magic. Just imagine what I could do with that. I could rewrite every story, undo every spell, and finally show those silly fairies who's the real enchantress." Asterisk. Lyra's voice trembled, though she stood bravely. "You don't understand what you're holding. That charm is part of my destiny. If you use it, you could destroy my future, and maybe yours too." Miss Nettle laughed wickedly. "Oh, how dramatic. I adore it, but I think I'll take my chances." She raised her wand, and a wave of violet magic shot toward the girls. Sofia quickly held up her amulet of Avalor, which glowed with protective pink light. The magic clashed in the air, bursting into a shower of sparks that illuminated the forest. Fireflies scattered, and Clover dubbed behind a rock. "Careful, Sofia," he squeaked. "That pointy, which means business." Sofia's voice was calm but firm. "We're not afraid of you, Miss Nettle. True princesses use kindness and courage, not greed." Miss Nettle rolled her eyes. "Kindness? Courage? How boring." She waved her wand again, summoning thorny vines that curled up from the ground, trapping Sofia and Lyra. The vines twisted tighter, but Lyra's silver dress began to shimmer with starlight. She closed her eyes and whispered, "Light of the future, guide my way." Her pennant-shaped mark on her wrist began to glow, weakening the vines just enough for Sofia to pull free. Sofia reached out to her amulet. "Amulet of Avalor, I need your help." The gem shone brighter than ever, and a swirl of golden light surrounded her. From within the glow, a gentle voice spoke. "True courage is found when you light the way for others." It was Princess Aurora, appearing in a soft golden haze. Her gown shimmered like dawn itself. "Sofia," Aurora said kindly, "remember, even in darkness, kindness can awaken the light." With renewed strength, Sofia nodded. "Thank you, Princess Aurora." Aurora smiled warmly and faded into a trail of light that settled into Sofia's amulet. Sofia turned to Lyra. "We can do this together." Lyra nodded. Together, the two princesses clasped hands. Their amulets, Sofia's glowing pink, Lyra's faint silver mark, pulsed in harmony. The light spread across the clearing, melting Miss Nettle's vines into harmless petals. Miss Nettle shrieked. "What is this nonsense?" "It's not nonsense," Sofia said firmly. "It's friendship, the strongest magic there is." Before Miss Nettle could react, Lyra lifted her small crystal wand and traced a circle in the air. "Return to your rightful time," she cried. A bright beam of starlight burst from the wand, striking the charm in Miss Nettle's hand. The charm vibrated and flew out her grasp, landing gently in Sofia's palms. Miss Nettle stumbled backward, covering her eyes. "You meddlesome princesses. I'll get you for this." And with a furious wave of her cloak, she vanished into the mist, leaving only the echo of her laughter behind. The forest fell silent once more. The fireflies slowly returned, their gentle glow restoring peace to the night. Lyra looked down at the charm in Sofia's hands. It sparkled like a piece of the night sky. "That's it, my royal charm." Sofia smiled, placing it carefully around Lyra's neck. The moment it touched her skin, a warm light spread from the charm, wrapping Lyra in silver radiance. "You did it," Sofia said softly. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "We did it. You believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself." Clover peeked out from behind the rock, brushing off a few leaves. Yeah, touching moment and all, but maybe we should head back to the castle before another magical troublemaker shows up?" Sofia giggled. "Good idea, Clover." Together, they made their way back through the forest. The glowing petal trail reappeared, leading them safely home. As they walked, Lyra noticed something. The stars above seemed to shimmer brighter than before, almost as if the night itself was celebrating. When they reached the edge of the castle gardens, Lyra looked up at the moon and whispered, "I can feel it. My time is calling me back. But the charm still isn't glowing the way it should." Sofia frowned gently. Maybe the charm isn't just about finding it. Maybe it needs something else. Something only you can give. Lyra looked thoughtful. "Like what?" Sofia smiled. "A true act of kindness. That's what always completes a princess's magic." Lyra touched the charm and nodded. "Then I'll find a way." As they entered the castle gates, the bells chimed softly, echoing through the night. The adventure wasn't over yet, and both princesses could feel it. Somewhere deep inside the glowing charm, a spark of time magic flickered, waiting for the moment when Lyra would prove her heart was ready for her royal destiny. The following morning in Enchancia dawned bright and peaceful. The sky was painted in soft gold and pink, and the scent of morning blossoms drifted through the castle windows. Sofia awoke early, her amulet of Avalor glimmering gently on her nightstand. Clover hopped up beside her, stretching his paws. "Well, Sofia, no spooky myths or evil sorceresses today. That's already a win in my book." Sofia laughed. "Let's hope it stays that way." But something tells me Lyra's adventure isn't over yet. Down in the royal courtyard, Lyra was standing quietly by the fountain. The water sparkled in the sunlight, but her expression was uncertain. The royal charm hung around her neck. Beautiful but dull, its magic still asleep. Sofia approached with a kind smile. "Good morning, Lyra." Lyra sighed. "Morning, Sofia. I thought that finding the charm would fix everything, but it still isn't glowing. It's like it doesn't recognize me." Sofia placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Maybe it's not about being found. Maybe it needs something to awaken it, something from your heart." Just then, Bailiwick appeared, looking unusually flustered. "Princess Sofia, Princess Lyra, we have a bit of a situation in the royal stables." "The stables?" Sofia repeated. "Yes," he said, adjusting his tie. "A beam collapsed during cleaning, and some of flying horses are trapped inside. We're doing our best, but the young colt, Stardust, is frightened and won't let anyone near." Sofia's eyes widened. "Poor Stardust. Come on, Lyra, we can help." They hurried to the stables, where the air was thick with dust and worry. Stable hands were rushing about, trying to clear the debris. Minimus was neighing anxiously. "Stardust," Sofia called. "It's okay, we're here." From behind a pile of fallen beams, a small, trembling colt peeked out. His silvery wings were tangled in rope, and his big eyes glistened with fear. Lyra's heart squeezed at the sight. "Oh, the poor thing," she whispered. Sofia turned to her. "Lyra, you can reach him. Try talking to him gently. He'll feel your heart." Lyra nodded, stepping carefully over the beams. "Hey there, little one," she said softly. "It's all right. You're safe now. I know it's scary." The colt whimpered and tried to pull back. Lyra stopped and knelt down so their eyes met. "You know," she continued in a soothing voice, "I was scared too when I came here. Everything was strange, and I didn't know if I'd ever find my way home. But I met someone who showed me that courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you care enough to help, even when you are." The colt's ears twitched. He took a hesitant step forward. Lyra smiled gently. "That's it. You're doing so well. I believe in you." Sofia and Clover watched from a distance, holding their breath. Slowly, the colt nudged Lyra's hand with his nose. "There you go," she whispered, stroking his mane. "You're safe, Stardust. I promise." Just then, one of the heavier beams shifted dangerously. Sophia gasped, "Lyra, look out!" Without thinking, Lyra threw her arms around Stardust, shielding him as the beam began to fall. A burst of silver light erupted from her charm, freezing the beam midair. The entire stable filled with shimmering magic that lifted the debris gently aside. When the light faded, the stables were calm again. Stardust neighed happily and fluttered his wings, now free of the ropes. Sophia ran over, eyes wide. "Lyra, are you okay?" Lyra nodded, brushing dust off her gown. "I'm fine. But look, the charm." The royal charm around her neck was glowing brilliantly now, alive with starlight and warmth. It pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat, and she could feel its energy flowing through her. Clover whistled. "Whoa, talk about a glow-up." Sophia smiled proudly. "You did it, Lyra. You showed true princess kindness. You help without thinking of yourself." Lyra looked down at the charm, her eyes shimmering. It wasn't about being brave or magical, was it? It was about caring, truly caring. Sophia nodded. "That's what being a princess is all about. Titles and crowns don't make you royal. Your heart does." At that moment, Cedric came hurrying in, waving a scroll. I've been studying that charm of yours, and it appears that... Oh, it's already glowing. Well, that saved me a few hours." He leaned closer, eyes wide with fascination. Yes, the energy has stabilized. That means your magic and your destiny are finally aligned. You're ready to return to your time." Lyra's smile faltered a little. "Return already?" Sophia felt a small ache in her chest. "It sounded like it." Cedric nodded. "We'll need to activate the time crystal beneath the castle. Once it's charged by your charm, it will open the path back to your era." Lyra touched the charm thoughtfully. "Then I'll go, but I'll never forget what I've learned here." Sophia reached out and took her hand. "And we'll never forget you." As the sun began to set behind the towers of Enchancia, the two princesses stood together, the light of their amulets mingling into one soft, magical glow. The time had come for Lyra to complete her journey, and Sophia to say goodbye to a friend from a future she'd helped make brighter. The castle was quieter than usual that evening, as if the walls themselves knew something extraordinary was about to happen. A silvery twilight hung over the towers, and the royal banners fluttered softly in the wind. Down in the library, Cedric was pacing back and forth, his robe fluttering with each step as he read from a glowing scroll. "According to my research," he muttered, "the time crystal lies deep beneath the castle. Ancient, powerful, and rather dusty, no doubt. It's what connects all magical timelines together." Sophia and Lyra listened carefully. Lyra's charm glowed faintly, casting small stars of light across the floor. Clover, perched on a chair, yawned. "I don't know about you guys, but I prefer my timelines right where they are, not crisscrossing under my feet." Cedric ignored him and continued. "To open the path back to Lyra's time, the crystal must be awakened with pure royal magic. That means both of your powers combined." He gave a dramatic wave of his wand. "Together, you will channel your energy through the charm into the crystal. Easy as pie, though perhaps slightly more dangerous." Sophia gave a confident smile. "Then we'll do it. Lyra deserves to go home." Lyra's eyes softened. "You've done so much for me, Sophia. I don't know how to thank you." "You already did," Sophia said kindly. "You showed me that courage can shine across time." Before Cedric could reply, Bailiwick entered the room carrying a lantern. "The passage to the crystal chamber has been cleared, your highnesses. But I must warn you, it's quite dark down there." Lyra straightened. "That's all right. I'm not afraid of the dark anymore." With lanterns glowing, the group made their way down a spiral staircase that led to the hidden depths beneath Enchancia. The air grew cooler, filled with the scent of stone and old magic. The walls shimmered faintly, engraved with symbols of stars, crowns, and swirling clocks. Finally, they reached a massive door made of blue crystal. At its center was a circular design, the same symbol that appeared in the forest when Lyra's charm first glowed. Cedric stepped forward, tapping his wand against the door. Just as I suspected. It responds to royal energy." He nodded to the princesses. "All right, you two. Place your hands here and focus your magic. Sophia and Lyra shared a look, and then pressed their hands to the door. The amulet of Avalor and Lyra's royal charm began to pulse in unison, their lights intertwining, pink and silver blending into a radiant white. The door trembled, then slowly opened with a deep, echoing hum. Inside the chamber, the time crystal floated in midair, a massive gem that shimmered with every color of the rainbow, surrounded by drifting particles of light that looked like moments frozen in time. Images flickered within it, kingdoms rising, stars falling, and princesses from long ago and far ahead. Lyra gasped softly. "It's beautiful." Cedric's voice trembled slightly. "Magnificent, ancient, possibly valuable," he cleared his throat. "I mean, historically significant." Sophia laughed gently, then turned serious. "So what do we do now?" "Hold the charm toward the crystal," Cedric instructed. "When it glows brightest, the pathway will open." Lyra took a deep breath. "All right, here goes." She stepped closer, holding up her charm. The silver light from it reached out, touching the crystal's surface. It pulsed once, twice, and then the whole room was filled with shimmering light. But just as the magic stabilized, a harsh, mocking laugh echoed through the chamber. Well, what a touching scene," came a familiar voice. Miss Nettle materialized from a swirl of green smoke, her grin wicked and eyes gleaming. "Did you really think you could get rid of me that easily?" Sophia gasped. "Miss Nettle, what are you doing here?" "Oh, just a little time-traveling curiosity," she sneered. "You see, I've decided that this pretty crystal will be my ticket to power. Why bother with royal schools and etiquette when I can control time itself?" Cedric groaned. "For once, could you not interrupt an important magical ceremony?" Miss Nettle ignored him. She raised her wand, firing a burst of magic toward the crystal. The beam struck its surface, sending wild sparks flying in every direction. The entire chamber shook. Lyra shielded her eyes. "She's destabilizing it. If the crystal breaks, then time itself could fall apart." Cedric shouted, frantically waving his wand. Sophia grabbed Lyra's hand. "We can stop her. We have to focus together." Lyra nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "Right. Let's finish this the royal way." They stood side by side, their amulets glowing fiercely. Sophia's voice rang out clear and strong. "Amulet of Avalor, help us protect time and friendship." The amulet flared with brilliant pink light, while Lyra's charm blazed silver. The two colors twisted into a spiraling beam that wrapped around the time crystal, shielding it in a cocoon of energy. Miss Nettle's spell bounced off harmlessly, sending her stumbling backward. What is this?" she cried. Sophia's eyes glowed softly. "It's what happens when you use magic for good." With one final surge of light, Miss Nettle was thrown out of the chamber, vanishing in a puff of smoke. The crystal's glow steadied once more. Lyra's charm shimmered brighter than ever. "It's ready," she whispered. "The path home is opening." Sophia felt her heart ache. "Then it's time." As the crystal began to hum, a circular portal of light appeared, swirling with stars and silver wind. It was beautiful but bittersweet. Lyra turned to Sophia, tears shining in her eyes. "Thank you for everything." Sophia smiled gently. "You'll always have a friend in Enchancia, no matter what time you're in." The chamber glowed with swirling silver light, gentle and alive like the heart of a star. The time crystal hovered serenely, no longer trembling, but shining with calm purpose. Its reflection rippled across the marble floor, painting everything in a dreamlike glow. Sophia stood with Lyra before the portal, their hands clasped tightly. Even without words, they both knew what was coming. Lyra looked into Sophia's eyes, her voice soft but steady. "I think the crystal is ready to send me home." Sophia nodded, but her chest ached. "I know. I just wish we had more time." Cedric cleared his throat, stepping closer but keeping a respectful distance. "Ahem. Yes. Well, temporal rifts aren't exactly known for patience, Your Highness. Best not to keep one waiting." Bailiwick, who had accompanied them, dabbed his eyes with a handkerchief. "Partings are always difficult, Princess Sophia, but they do make reunions far sweeter." Lyra smiled faintly. That's the thing. Maybe one day there'll be another reunion, in your time or mine. Clover hopped closer, ears drooping. Just don't forget about us little folks, okay? You never know when a good rabbit's needed for time travel snacks or advice. Lyra knelt down, laughing softly as she scratched Clover behind the ears. I could never forget you, Clover. She turned to Sofia, her silver charm glowing warmly in her hand. Do you think I was meant to meet you? Sofia felt the amulet of Avalor pulse gently at her neck, as if agreeing. I think we were meant to meet each other, she said. Maybe to remind us both that being a princess isn't just about crowns or kingdoms, it's about the heart. The time crystal began to hum, its colors shifting into soft blues and silvers. Tiny specks of light floated around Lyra, like petals in a gentle wind. Cedric's scroll fluttered as the air filled with energy. It's time, Cedric said quietly. The portal won't stay open for long. Lyra took one last look around, at the glowing crystal, at the friend she had made, at the castle she had come to love. Her heart was full and heavy all at once. She turned back to Sofia. Promise me something? Anything, Sofia said. Promise you'll keep believing in the future and in yourself, no matter what happens. Sofia blinked back tears. I promise. Lyra smiled. Then I'm ready. The silver charm floated from her hand, joining the light of the crystal. The portal flared brighter, swirling like a galaxy. Lyra stepped forward, the wind tugging at her hair and dress. As she crossed the threshold, she looked back one last time. Goodbye, Sofia. Goodbye, Lyra. Sofia called, waving through tears. Thank you for everything. And then, with a flash of silver light, she was gone. The portal folded in on itself, fading into a soft glow that slowly vanished. The chamber grew still again. Only the time crystal remained, pulsing gently as though content. For a long moment, no one spoke. Even Cedric's usual dramatic flair was quieted by the weight of the moment. Finally, Sofia sighed softly, her voice filled with both sadness and peace. She's really gone. Cedric nodded. Indeed, but take heart, princess. Time is a funny way of weaving connections stronger than magic itself. Sofia looked down at her amulet. It shimmered faintly, and for a brief second, she saw a tiny vision. Lyra, now older, standing on a balcony in a distant, sparkling castle. She was smiling and wearing the same charm around her neck. The image faded, but the warmth lingered in Sofia's heart. She made it, she whispered. She's safe. Bailiwick smiled. A princess of the future and a friend forever. Clover hopped up beside her. You did it, kiddo. You helped save time itself. Not bad for one day's work. Sofia giggled, brushing away a tear. It wasn't just me, Clover. It was all of us working together. They began the slow walk back to the upper halls of the castle, lantern light flickering against the stone walls. Cedric followed behind, muttering about temporal stabilization and proper magical credit, though even he smiled when he thought no one was looking. When they reached the surface, dawn was breaking over Enchancia. The first rays of sunlight spilled across the gardens, touching the flowers with gold. Sofia paused on the balcony, breathing in the cool morning air. It felt different now, as if the world itself had grown just a little wider. Amber and James came running toward her, excitement on their faces. Sofia, where were you all night? Amber asked, wide-eyed. Sofia smiled, just helping a friend find her way home. James blinked. Through time. Sofia laughed softly, something like that, as her siblings ran off to breakfast. Sofia looked up at the sky. The clouds seemed to shimmer faintly, almost as if they were winking at her. I'll never forget you, Lyra, she whispered, and I'll always keep your promise. The amulet of Avalor glowed one last time, gentle and proud. And somewhere far in the future, another princess, Lyra, looked at her own silver charm and whispered into the wind, Thank you, Sofia. Several weeks had passed since the night Sofia helped Lyra return to her future. Yet somehow, the memory of that adventure lingered, not as a dream, but as something real woven into the rhythm of her days. Every morning, when she put on her amulet of Avalor. It shimmered a little brighter than before, as though remembering the friendship that had once bridged time itself. One quiet afternoon, Sofia sat in the castle garden, reading under flowering wisteria. The air was sweet with spring scent, and Clover dozed nearby, snoring softly in the shade. She closed her book and looked at the sky. "I wonder how Lyra's doing now," she said aloud. "Do you think she ever thinks about me?" Clover yawned and stretched. "Are you kidding? You help her save her kingdom. If that doesn't make a bunny-sized impression, nothing will." Sofia giggled, but her smile turned wistful. "I just wish I could know for sure." Just then, her amulet flickered with a soft, silvery light, different from its usual pink glow. A gentle hum filled the air, and tiny sparkles drifted around her like falling stars. Clover sat up straight. Sofia, is it supposed to do that?" Before Sofia could answer, a swirl of mist formed in front of her. It shimmered and then shaped itself into a floating crystal orb, glowing faintly from within. Inside, a familiar face appeared, Princess Lyra, smiling warmly. "Lyra!" Sofia gasped, jumping to her feet. The image flickered but held steady. Lyra's voice, soft yet clear, filled the air. "Hello, Sofia. If you're seeing this message, it means the time crystal is still connected to your world and to our friendship." Sofia's heart leapt. "You really did it. You're safe." Lyra nodded. "Yes, I'm home in my time. My parents were so happy to see me again. And guess what? The charm you helped me awaken has brought peace to our lands. It now helps all future princesses learn to use their magic for kindness, just like you taught me." Clover puffed his chest. "I told you you'd make history, kiddo." Lyra laughed softly through the orb. "I've also been studying the histories of Enchancia, and I found something amazing. Did you know that your bravery inspired an entire royal tradition in my time? Every year, future princesses celebrate something called Sofia's Day of Friendship. It's a day dedicated to helping others and believing in the magic of unity." Sofia gasped, her eyes wide. "They remember me?" Lyra nodded. "They do, because you showed the world that friendship doesn't end, not even when time separates it." Tears welled in Sofia's eyes, but she was smiling too. "Oh, Lyra, that's the most wonderful thing I've ever heard." The orb shimmered again, and Lyra's expression softened. "There's one more thing. The time crystal still carries our bond. So whenever you're uncertain or afraid, touch your amulet and think of me. Our lights will always guide each other." The image began to fade, the glow softening like the end of a song. "Goodbye for now, Sofia," Lyra whispered. "And thank you for being the kind of princess the future will never forget." Sofia placed a hand over her amulet. "Goodbye, Lyra. I'll keep our promise, always." The orb dissolved into sparkles, drifting upward until they melted into the sunlight. For a long while, Sofia stood there, feeling the warmth in her heart. Then, softly, the amulet glowed one last time, and a new engraving appeared around its edge. "Friendship beyond time." That evening, during dinner, King Roland noticed a change. "That's a new glow I haven't seen before," he said with a smile. "Something special happened today, Sofia?" Sofia nodded. "Just a reminder from a friend that kindness lasts forever." Amber smiled knowingly. "You always say the most mysterious things, little sister." James laughed. "Yeah, but somehow they always end up being true." Sofia giggled, and the family continued dinner under the warm candlelight. But later that night, as she stood by her window watching the stars, she felt a soft breeze brush past, carrying a faint whisper. It sounded like Lyra's voice. "Keep shining, Sofia." She smiled. "I will." Clover hopped up onto the sill beside her. "So what's next, Princess Time Traveler?" Sofia looked at the moon, glowing bright and round above Enchancia. "Who knows, Clover? Maybe another friend will need our help someday, from anywhere in the world or any time." Clover chuckled. "Then I'd better pack snacks." They both laughed, and the castle lights flickered gently below, as though winking in agreement. The stars twinkled brighter that night. Two in particular, side by side, one pink and one silver, a timeless reminder of friendship that not even magic could erase. And as Sophia drifted off to sleep, she heard a faint echo in her dreams. The heart of a true princess is never bound by time. Sparkles the end sparkles.